Let me share the screen.
Morning, Mr. H.
Hey, how you doing? I
Did
think
it?
it's the right screen. Screen two. I got so many screens. Excuse me. All right, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
All right, cool. And you see a screen with the chart on it, right? Because I had to make sure I picked the right one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I got.
Yes.
All right, cool. Because I bought a new monitor, so trying to arrange it all. I'm definitely a monitor junkie, but I'm not that bad. I know I follow traders that have like 15 screens. And I'm like, nah, that's too many screens. Let's see where we at. All right, let's see. Once again, I loaded up the 19th. Um, so that's what's loaded right now. And I have it at 9:25, right before the open.
The screen is like really tiny. Can't really
The screen is
see.
tiny.
Yeah, like the
Um,
chart
let me
is like really like minimized, minimal to like small.
Yeah, it would help if you could maximize. There you go.
see. Is this better?
It's the same.
Is it the same? Hold on. I'm gonna switch it from to this screen here and try it again. Is that better?
It's still the same.
Still the same?
It just looks like a small box in the front.
Oh, it's covering my whole screen.
Yeah, it's covering my whole screen. I don't have any problem seeing it. I don't know.
I'm only getting about a third of the screen.
Okay, I think it works now.
Could it be the your personal settings? Because like I have it on the full screen.
I think this works. I think it will. I have to maximize my computer.
Okay. There was somebody else that said theirs was small too.
Yeah, mine's still small, but my screen's maximized.
I have it on
I'll
full
probably
screen.
that'd probably be okay the way it is.
Because I want you to be able to, see what's going on.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right.
Okay. And once again, uh, since it is 9:25, I have it on here. That's when I mark up my charts in the morning. I haven't marked this one up yet. So it still has all the old levels. Because last week was a heck of a week. Oh, there's a lot of down side. But once again, when you trade the stock market, we make money whether it goes up or down. So it doesn't really matter. You just have to make sure you pick the right direction. All right. And once again, you can click the little mouse button, or you can go up here to show data box. And that's how you make sure that you pick the right uh, times and numbers. So when you hover over it, you can see the high and the low. So marking the overnight high on the first candle of the daily. So the overnight high on this one is 291.25. You make sure it has 291. 25. All right, the low on this one is 179.5. So the high and the low is that wick, the highest wick and the lowest wick. The body, the bottom, the top of the red candlestick is the open. The bottom of the red is a close. So that's the body. So the body is the open and the close. The high and the low is the wicks. So just so you guys know. There's 179.50. And you want to be exactly on those marks, because when you're trading, if you click that button at the wrong time and your levels are off, you can only blame yourself if you lose money. But if you put it at the right level and you still lose money, at least you know it wasn't your fault, because the market's going to do what it wants. These are just trades, how to find trades that are more than likely going to go in your direction. Nothing is guaranteed. This is just ways of finding things that are more than likely to happen. But once again, that's why we have indicators that kind of help us along. That's why we kind of wait to see what the candlestick does when it gets near that level that we want to buy or sell. You want to look at what it does when it gets there. If it shoots straight through it, you don't want to catch, if the market is going up really fast, you don't want to place a trade just because it's a level. Because if it's going up fast, that's like trying to stop a freight train. Same thing if it's falling down real fast. Just because you have a level there doesn't mean it's going to stop dead in its tracks. It's like catching a falling knife. You want to wait to see what the market does when it gets to that level. It might just get to that level and tap it a couple times. You're like, okay, it's safe. But if it goes to that level and goes straight through it, yeah, that's why you don't always want to be waiting there for it. You want to see what it does before you click that buy or sell button. Because sometimes it'll go through it, take a little bit of heat, and then it will turn around and go right back in your direction, but it had already took you out of the trade. I know that happens to a lot of people because it still happens to me sometimes. All right, so the high and the low. And on the daily, I also squeeze it in just to see if something else sticks out, like something else pops out. Um, so with all the levels that I teach, the high and the low of the current candle on the daily, but I also notice I have 3 in a row. So I will mark this one down here as a daily triple threat. So the daily triple threat, the chance of it going down there is slim, but I have it marked just in case. It can happen later on in the week, but at least I know I have it marked. So if something happens, I'm like, oh, why did it bounce? Oh, that's right. I have it marked there. Or if you miss a trade, it's usually because you didn't mark it. So I mark up everything that I see. And when it comes to the triple threat, you want to mark it at the open, not the low, but the open of that candle. So that open is 94.25. So 94, make that sure this is 25. So anytime you see a triple threat, you want to mark the open of the candle, not the low or the high. Is the open of it. Same thing with if you see 3 or more red going down, you want to mark the open of that red one. So here's right here on the daily. You see, I already have it marked. I already have it marked up. All right, so you have 1, 2, and 3. So I already have that one marked up. And that was way back on the 17th of December. So that was on the 17th of December. But I have it marked because you never know. You might forget that that level was back there. And by the time the market come back up there, it's too late to go look in the past and see what happened. You know what I'm saying? The market was almost on the way up there, but I have it marked just in case next week it happens. So I'll squeeze it and I'll look for any time that I see 3 or more. Now right here I see 3 or more, But guess what? It has already been It already happened. You know, it already happened, so that one's gone. But here's another one right here. So that's what I mean by get rid of your old levels, because if it's an old level, you don't want to take a trade there because you forgot to erase it. So I don't now see some of these levels, some of these yellow lines, they have already been used up. But since I'm on a daily candle, on a daily chart, I'm not going to delete any of the yellow or the brown lines because I don't know if they've been used yet until I go to that time. So right now I'm only looking at daily levels. And there's only two of them. There's one here, is one here, up here. Now I noticed this gap right here, right? You see this gap? But the reason why I'm not marking this gap, because I wait 3 candles after. So 1, 2, the third one, the day is not over yet. So this third one hasn't closed yet. So I'm not going to mark off this area, and I'm going to highlight it just so you can see what area I'm talking about. This area right here. I'm not going to mark off this area right here, this yellow area, because after it was created, 1, 2, 3, you want to count 3 candles after. This third candle is the current daily. So it is not closed yet until the day is over. So this gap right here is not valid because it hasn't.
What is
Huh?
Will, what is the reason you wait three closes or candles after? Is there a reason for that? Why is that not valid as soon as you see it happen?
For the simple fact, this third candle can dip into it, and just
Okay.
based off of my old instructor and me testing out the strategy, it's just more effective if you wait 3 candles after.
I got you. Okay.
Because it's not saying that it won't work 2 candles after, but you're also risking the chance of losing money because we're trying not to lose money.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
That's the goal. It's not about how much you make; it's how much you can avoid losing.
Absolutely.
So we've, based on my old instructor and me testing it out, 3 candles has just been more effective. So this one right here, like if I do mark it off, I will leave it just like this. I'll leave it yellow. But then once today closes and the 20th comes and it hasn't touched it yet, I'll double click and I will change it to the right color of that day. But I'll have it just yellow as a reminder that it is a gap. But you guys, of course, you guys don't have to do that. You can just not mark it until the next day because that'd be 3 candles closed. All right, so then I go down to the 4-hour chart, and of course the 4 hour is going to have more going on. Now, and this is a great example, right? So this one right here, the very first 3 of them. See these first 3? I would not usually mark this one as a triple threat. Does anybody know why I would not mark this as a triple threat?
It's too
Anybody?
current. It hasn't finished
Because
yet.
it already passed the previous high or the
Nope.
swing low.
These 3, right? These first 3. Why wouldn't I mark those yet?
It's too current.
Is it what?
It's too current.
Yep, it's too current. You have to wait for the closure of this one right here. Because right now, you have, well, not just the closure, but you have to wait for one to close opposite color. So if you have 3 going down, you still have 34 minutes left on this candle. So if this one closes red, you still don't mark it. You want to wait till a candle closes green. So if you see like this right here, you see these 3 going down, this candle right here closed green. It closed. A new candle opened green. That's when I mark this one. Because you got 1, 2, 3. The 4th one finally closed green. Now it's a triple threat. Because this green one could have been red. It could have kept going down and closed red. Then the next one opened. Wait for that one to close green. Then it's a good triple threat. Because triple threat is just 3 or more. So I wouldn't mark this first one because this one has not closed yet. This one has to close red, and the next one has to close green. So you got to wait 4 hours and 30 minutes before this is considered a triple threat. Because I don't know how, if I explained that in the course. So I wanted to explain it here. Because I don't want y'all marking this and like, oh, is a triple threat? Not yet. You got to wait for the opposite candle closure color. Let's see another one. So, okay, so like this one, these green going up, right? The reason why I didn't mark it, because look, it was touched over here. So if I would have marked this one up, let's mark it up. We could have marked the level right here. Just triple threat. See, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This red one right here, it finally closed red. It closed a different color from the green. Now it's active. Now I can mark this. The market did what it had to do. Look at this green candle. It literally stopped dead in its tracks. You took a little bit of heat. You took a little bit of heat, but look how much money you would have made on the way up from this triple threat. Just from this triple threat right here. That's how accurate these are. This triple threat, this happened on, what is that, the 14th. It didn't come back down until the 18th. But when it finally came down there, if you would have took this trade, even if you wrote it all the way up here, that is a lot of money. This is a 4-hour chart.
Coach, can you show real quick how do you label that with text so I can
How
if
do you
I can
label
see
with text? Oh,
get a
yeah.
line? Please. Wait, what did you do? Right click.
Oh, right click, go to drawing tools and go here with text.
Okay, thanks.
You can mark it right here. You can put a TT for triple threat. So that line has TT next to it. And you can also delete it. But yeah, that's how strong the triple threat is. This happened on the 14th. 4 days later, the market came down there, was like, I ain't trying to mess with that. I'm going to go head back up. It went straight up. All this is money. That's if you could have stayed in a trade for, that's 8 hours, mind you. It didn't happen until after the market opened back up that night. So it happened at night, but it still happened. But I'm going to delete this one because it already happened for what we trading on. And as I said, none of these levels are guaranteed. They're just more than likely what's going to happen.
I got a question.
Mhm.
Is this lesson here going to be in Discord?
Yeah, I'm recording it now.
Okay.
And what else? Stop loss ATM strategy. I think we did that one. I think that was last week. All right, retracement. That's what I wanted to work on today. Retracement. All right, let's mark up our levels first, and I'll show you retracement. And as you see, once again, I'm on the 4-hour chart. So all my 4-hour levels are brown. I notice this little brown right here is just lingering. So I will get rid of this one because it's not a real level, because it probably was an old level. So you want to get rid of your old levels so you don't get them confused. All right, I don't see any gaps on here. Here's a triple threat. Here's a triple threat that has not been touched yet. And once again, triple threat, you want to look at the open. So the open on that one is 834.25. 834.25. And since it's a 4-hour level, I'm change it brown. And once again, the reason why they're color coded is because I trade off of the 5-minute chart. by them being color coded, I don't have to go back and forth to the 1 hour, 4 hour daily to trying to figure out what kind of level it is. Okay. Because just because it's a level, remember a 4 hour level is stronger than a 1 hour level. A daily level is stronger than a 4 hour. So if I see a 1 hour and a 4 hour close to each other, I will go more so based on the 4 hour level versus the 1 hour. Or I'll just split the difference in between the two levels because I know a 4 hour is stronger. So it might go past the 1 hour and stop at the four. Because sometimes these levels are like magnets. It'll bypass a 1 hour level because it's like that 4 hour is a stronger magnet. Let me get down there, then bounce. It's just weird how the market works. Just we can't change the market. We can just change the way we react to it. All right,
Hey,
I'm gonna go
Will,
down. Mhm.
if you can today sometime, talk about what you're looking at or how you make judgment calls off of wicks, whether they're short, long, hammers. Uh, Talk about how you see it and how you read them.
As far as the candlestick setup, the strategies.
Yeah, well, when you feel like it's time to make a move up or down, buy up or down, and you're reading it because of a long wick or a short wick or a hammer,
Mhm.
the movement. You're reading the
Okay,
movement.
yeah, I can
Tell
do
us
that.
how what you're seeing when you make those decisions,
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, I mean, as I said, when I first started trading, that's what one of the things that I struggle with. I was like, okay, I know these strategies, but how do you know when to place a trade? Like I see the strategy, I see the triple threat, but how do you know when to actually take the trade though? That was one of the questions I always had.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
understand.
me too.
It's just my first instructor. Like now that I look back at it, I was like, he was a great trader, just not a good instructor. Because he was trading ZB with 5 contracts. And I was right along with him trading ZB with 5 contracts. Like, why were we doing that? Because ZB is $31 per tick. And he was trading that with 5 contracts.
CB, is that copper?
ZB is 30-year bonds.
Oh, 30-year bonds, right? That's right.
Yeah. It moves real slow, but at $31 a tick, you don't need that many movements.
Mhm. Mhm. Contracts.
The low is 98800, 988. This is on a 4 hours. Let me make sure the color is brown. Got the brown outline on that. Now, once again, this yellow bar or um, gap. The only reason why I haven't changed this one yet is because once again I'm on the 4 hour chart, so I'm only looking at 4 hour levels, old ones, and look for new ones. So don't delete a 1 hour level on a 4 hour chart because it might be off. It might still be a good level. All right, got a triple thread here. Then mark this one. All right, let's go down to the 1 hour. I'm trying to do a lot faster so I can get to the other stuff of the course. So if I'm moving too fast, just let me know. All right, this is a 1 hour chart. Once again, all the levels on the 1 hour. I like the 1 hour because the 1 hour has actually more areas to take a trade at. So like this right here, boom. You see 3 right here, and then this one closed green is good to go. Look at the open, 6100. Here's another triple threat right here, so I'm gonna mark that one. There's no gaps in the market. Those have been ate up. And actually, and when you see like this right here is considered a doji. This little line right here, this little dash, that's considered a doji. But if you zoom in, sometimes you can see that doji is actually red. So that doji is actually red. So I will mark this up here as well.
Will, what are those short orange lines on the chart? I don't recognize
Oh,
that.
that is the 1605 level, or the LIS I was telling you about. So
Yeah,
the
I
orange
missed
is
that.
a
I couldn't
LIS.
find that last week. I couldn't
That
find that in the old recording from last week. Can you explain that right quick?
Yeah, so the LIS is a level that a lot of traders do know. So is the 405 closure of the candle. So 1605 afternoon is the closure of that candle is a good level the next day after the 9:30 open. So the 1605 closure of a previous day is a good level for after 9:30 the next day. Did that make sense?
What, like a target area?
Yes, to take a trade at,
Okay.
whether it's above the market or below. So whatever happens after 1605, it doesn't matter what happens at night. After 9:30 in the morning, if the market is below the orange, is a good level to sell at. If the market is above the orange, is a good area to buy it at if it comes back to it.
Okay. I got you.
And the reason why is 1605 is because the market makers or the people that are trading for Goldman Sachs and all the big companies, they get off at 405. They're off.
Okay.
So that's like the last manipulated, so to speak, candlestick.
And where is that? What is that on your drawing tools? Where is that short line on your drawing tools? Which one is that?
You can just mark it. The reason why mine is automatically marked is because I had an old indicator that was given to me, and I don't know where to find it at anymore.
Oh,
um,
okay.
I think it's called opening price. I don't think you guys have that. I think that was a one that I downloaded, but mine automatically puts it on there. I just don't know where I found where I had it because I've had it for years.
Oh,
But yeah, you could just mark up the 1605 closure candle. But yeah, that's the reason why it's a strong level because that's the last candle when all the market makers are off of work. So that last 30 minutes of the market being open doesn't even matter because they're not there. All right. So we found a couple levels above the current market and we look for a couple levels below. And if you want to look below, you have to go left. You have to look left and see if you find the lowest mark right here. So you want to see anything happen below this candle because the wick dipped all the way down. So what I find is back here, I find a triple threat back here that I haven't been touched yet. $62.25. Oop, I moved it. Now this gap is probably some old gap I had marked up. Um, but I can't use it no more because there's no gaps until you go way further down. So I could delete this. Because even though this right here is a gap, it's already been touched, I guess. It dipped down, it dipped into it. But it has been used up. So if you can technically still use this gap because it hasn't went through it yet, but it did bounce off of it already. So that's why I'm taking it off of here. Um, to take a trade inside of a gap is more of a advanced level of trading. So that's why I'll just take that one off. But that 4 hour gap is still good because that's right here. And this is another reason why I don't I don't deal with the levels unless I'm on the chart of that level. So if it's a 4 hour level, I only adjust it on a 4 hour chart. Because if you look at this 1 hour chart, you would say, oh, this level has already been messed with. No, it hasn't. It just looks like it on the 1 hour, but on a 4 hour, it hasn't been touched at all. So that's why you only want to deal with the levels on that chart time. And I don't want to go too far down because I guess there's another one right here.
Mr. H, when you say deal with it, are you speaking from taking a trade off of that time
No,
frame?
you don't want to remove it or add it or adjust it.
Okay.
If it's a 4 hour level, you want to adjust it or move it or get rid of it on a 4 hour chart. Because on a 1 hour chart, this looks like it's already been used up. But if you look at a 4 hour level on a 4 hour chart, you'll see it has not in fact been used yet. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
so if I was 5 minute chart, I could still trade off of that level.
Yeah, because it's still good.
Okay.
Yeah, because we take the trades on a 5 minute. Um, 22, 25. All right. And that's all I do. I literally go from the daily, I mark up what I see. 4 hour, I mark up what I see. 1 hour, I mark up what I see. And I only adjust it on that same time frame. That way I'm more accurate on my trades. And once again, the indicators, you guys, I show you guys what indicators I use. The indicators are used to indicate. They're not there as a guarantee. So the way I use the indicators, like this right here is a 1 hour chart, right? I notice this is nothing else going on in this whole area, right? But I do notice there's a swing low. See those little dotted lines? That's a swing low. The swing low is sitting literally right next to the S1 pivot. Because I see a swing low and the S1 pivot in the same area, I don't necessarily guarantee, but I'll still at least mark it up because those are two things that are in the same area. So I will mark up this one. I'll go to the low because is the wick. The low is 92.50. So 92.50. And I will also change from solid line to a dot, right? So that way I marked it up as a dot, not a solid line. The solid lines are only marked for my triple threat. If it's a swing low, since swing lows are marked off as dots, I'm gonna put a line there as a dot. So when I'm on the 5 minute chart, it shows up as a dot. And the dot is probably further down, or down here. So here's the dot here. You marked it up, and if you notice, as soon as it got to it, you would have took a little bit of heat. Well, it looks like a lot of heat because it's a 1 hour, but you got to go down to the 5 minute and see how it reacted to that swing low, because swing lows are still very strong levels. So that's the swing low that I marked, and you'll see on the 5 minute chart, it probably bounced off of that. Because remember, as a new trader, you're trying to get $50 to $100 on a trade. So swing lows are still very strong levels. So that's how I will mark up a swing low. So, but that's why I give you those indicators. They're free indicators. They're free. So you can really utilize those and make money on those indicators. Here's another one right here as well. And that one was used up, but you see it didn't close below it. If it doesn't close below it, it's still a good level. I didn't mean to put it there. The low is 0275. That was a dot. That way I know that one is a swing low level. And once again, there's no law that tells you can't go too far down, okay? Because that happened was that Friday. I marked up a level and it was far down there. And y'all know that big drop that happened Friday. It dropped or Thursday. It dropped down there and definitely hit that level. So you can mark levels as low as you want to go or as high as you want to go because the market does what it wants. And I think that's everything on here that I would mark up. All right, now we're at the 5 minute. And on the 5 minute, it looks so small. It looked like you done marked up all this stuff. But in reality, the 5 minute is just smaller time frame. It looked like there's nothing going on in this area. But what I did notice, even though this is the 5 minute chart, the green is the overnight low. If you notice, there is also a swing low on the overnight low. So I will look at that area. If the market gets down to it, I will still look at that area. I wouldn't necessarily just jump into the trade. I will wait to see what the candle does when it gets to that area. So to answer you guys' question as far as like when to get into a trade, that's what I look at. Even though I see that not only is it an overnight low, but it happens to be a swing low right on top of it. I will wait to see what the candlestick does when it gets to that area. If it goes down and it taps it and plays around that area, then I will look to buy it. But if it gets to it and it goes straight through, I wasn't waiting there. I see that it went straight through. I will wait for it to come back to it to see what it does. So that's why I don't necessarily do a resting order. So let's hit play and see what happens. And this is how I practice. This is literally how I practice. I will see my level here. If I see that's a good level, I will right click and I will buy just so I can see, well, not 3 contracts, but I do normally trade 3 contracts with my bigger accounts. And once again, $50.
Can you move it over some?
Which way? This way?
Yeah, right there. Because
I will put a buy there just so I can see what happens when it gets to that. This is the LIS level. There's LIS. I will put another trade at the LIS. Because once again, you're practicing. So when you're practicing, don't be scared to take a trade. We're not worried about losing money in practice because we're trying to really tell what happens when it gets to that level. And those are the closest levels that I see. Here's another triple threat. And so I'll do that. And then I'll speed it up a little bit so I can see what happened around that level. If it blows straight through the level, I'll look at what the candlestick did before it went through it. That's how I got better with my entries because your entries are really the bread and butter of trading, because I'm pretty sure most of us have gotten into a trade, it took us out, and then eventually started going in that direction because your entry, you wasn't wrong, you just might have got in too early. And when it does that, it's called a bear trap sweep. Because if you know that that's a level, guess what? A bunch of other traders know that that's also a level. And the market makers, the people that are literally tasked with making the market move, like they know that, hey, there's a lot of people waiting there, hanging out. Let's put them into a trade, go a little bit lower to snatch up some of the newbies, and then go up into profit. Because when you're new, you don't have a lot of cushion. So it's called a bear trap sweep. They'll knock you out, take your lunch money, then go in the right direction. And we're at 3 times the speed, just so we can get to the point and see what it does around that area.
So, Mr. H, I see where you got a buy and two sells.
Mhm.
When you live trading, you can't put that same type of order in, can you?
Yes. So when you're live trading, you just have to go back and click on the ATM strategy again. So you can click on the ATM strategy. You see how that 2 is going.
Yeah.
So like if I like right now it says a 2, $50 2. That's because I have these. So in the live market, you'll just go back to $50, click it again. That 2 is gone, and then it allows you to place another trade.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Oh, no problem at all. Because I've been trading so long, sometimes I forget those little details like that. So yeah, I'm glad you asked. It's almost like a muscle memory. And it's 9:31, so the market is open. And let's see let's see what it does when it gets near there. It's thinking about it. Now there's also a strategy called front running. Front running is basically when you jump into the trade a little earlier than the level. And they call it front running. I normally like to wait for it to pick me up at the bus stop, meaning pick me up at that level. Look at that. Smooth. Smooth money. Now let's pause it. Control center, $50. It is 9:32 in the morning. So you literally made $50 in 2 minutes. There's not a job out there that will pay you $50 every 2 minutes.
All right, coach. So okay, so wait a minute. So you come in and you set it. How did you set it at that level?
The ATM strategy,
Right. So you go to the ATM strategy. I know you have them, but how are you doing it at that point?
how'd I put it there?
Yes.
Oh, you right click and you go to buy limit.
Oh, okay. And then you can put
And
it
if
in
you're
at
above the
the.
market, when you click it, it's automatically going to say sell limit. It's called a resting order. So you just click the button, hit buy limit, and it's automatically, hold on. You can't submit. Hold on, let me change it again. Go back to $50. Right click and go to buy limit, and it's going to place a resting order.
And you just have to put it at whatever level you
Yeah,
want to.
you can put it wherever you want.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, of course. And that's once again that's the way I tested. The reason what I seen with that test, I wanted to see how far down it went because with my $50 strategy, I pull it up $50. I literally call it $50. My stop loss is -40, right? So every 10 is $50. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40. So you're risking $200 to make $50 with that ATM strategy. Because I know with the way my entries are, I know that 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna make 50 before I lose 200. You know what I'm saying? Based on my entries. Everybody's entry might be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Based on your entry, you might realize it goes down 40, 42 ticks before it goes up in the profit. So you might want to move your stop loss to 43 or 44 based on the way you trade. Because it's all based on how good your entry is. So my entry, I normally wait for the market to tap 3 times before I buy the market. So I'll wait for this candle to tap my level 3 times. And if it doesn't break through it, I'll buy the market and go up normally.
So you don't normally do what you just did right there. You just did that for practice sake,
Yeah, I do that for
and
practice because
normally
I
you'd
want to
wait.
see how good it
Yeah.
is at that level.
Okay.
But when I'm in the live market, so I'll rewind it a little bit.
You tested out more.
I don't want to go back too far. All I could get is 918. That's fine. Because when I trade the live market, I don't normally have a $50 stop loss. That's for people that are newer. I don't have a target when I trade. I have a stop loss, but I don't have a target. But if I'm just trying to get $50, yes, I will definitely put a target on there. So when I get a brand new evaluation, or a brand new PA, that's when I use my actual target, because I'm just trying to get $50 to $100 a day and get out the market on a brand new PA.
Uh,
But on my PAs that got cushion, I don't have a target.
Mr. H,
Mhm.
what's the maximum like target I can get on my 25K account since I already passed it, the eval?
Mhm.
In Monday, I'm gonna start like trading it
Oh
in
yeah,
live.
you're starting your live account.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
what's
Um,
the maximum now?
if I was you, is it a 50K or a 25?
25K. I have a 25K and in Monday I'm gonna also buy two 50K accounts to pass the eval.
Okay. With a 25K account, you should only trade micros.
Okay. And what
So,
like how much profit can I get so that I don't pass the 30% rule
oh, you,
consistency?
you ain't got to worry about that in micros.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, 35%. The 30% rule, you gotta be hitting like $2,000-3,000.
Oh shit. Okay, so
It's 30% of
I
whatever
can
your
get
withdrawal
like
is gonna be.
$300, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're just right now, you're just trying to get it to a payout, period.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're just trying to get to a payout. So trade micros. Now with micros, you can do 5, 6 contracts on a micro. You know what I'm saying? Because a micro is only 50 cent per contract.
I wanted to ask that about like in the 25K account, how many contracts do you recommend in the PA account? And in how many contracts do you recommend for a 50K account?
PA on a 50K PA or eval is a
In
different.
both. Like I wish I want to know in both, like for the EVO
Okay,
and
so
for the PA.
for evaluation, I only trade minis, NQ, ES,
Okay. Okay.
because it's just going to take you way too long in micros, right?
Okay.
So on a 25K account, I normally recommend one contract. On a 50K, you could do one or two contracts, depending
Okay.
on how comfortable you are with trading first.
Okay.
But I wouldn't go no more than no more than two on a 25 or a 50K account.
Okay. So if I am live, I should go with minis, with micros, and
Micros, I would do 4 to 8 contracts.
in the 50K.
Yeah, yeah, in the 25 or 50K PA, like
Okay.
approved account.
Yeah.
Because 8 micros is still less than one mini, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
you want to minimize your loss and just try to see how many times, like when you practice, how many times can you make $50? If you take 10 trades,
Mm-hmm.
are you 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10?
Right now
Five.
I'm going like right now my average in the 2 weeks I traded, I only lost once.
Okay, what's the average amount that you made though?
I made 26. How do I say that? A thousand. I made $1,000 $625.
You made $1,000 nine times out of 10?
No, you mean in each trade?
Yeah, yeah, in each trade. Like what
Oh,
was the
okay, okay.
average
I
per
was
trade?
making like about $220 in each trade.
Okay, so if
Man,
if if you if you've taken 10 trades and at least 7 out of 10 trades made $200, then
Mm-hmm.
your average is $200. Um,
Okay.
so 200, so you got to look at $200 is two hundred
yeah, in
dollars
other
is
words, you're
40
kicking
ticks.
ass.
Huh?
I said, in other words, he's kicking ass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like everybody's average is different. So $200 is technically 40 ticks because 20 ticks is $100. So
Mm-hmm.
in micros, you need to try to make the same thing. 40, not $200 in micros,
Okay.
40 ticks in micros.
Okay.
So you should have you can create an ATM strategy of 40 ticks. So to do that, you go to custom and you do a profit of 40,
Okay.
right? Stop loss. You could do on micros, you can do 100.
The
Because
stop loss,
mind
I'm
you,
actually doing
100
it
ticks,
mentally.
huh?
I'm doing the stop loss mentally, and I'm doing 25 points in stop loss. Like if the
Yeah, go by
rate goes
go by points.
yeah, if the stop loss goes to 25 points or 30 points, I'm out. Like I'm even if it goes back the other way I was going, but I'm fully out of the trade. Like if it hits 25 points.
Yes, 25 points is 100 ticks.
Oh, okay, perfect. That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, because remember, micros is only 50 cent.
Yeah.
So that you're only risking $50.
Okay, yeah. So in the eval, I should trade ES and regular NQ, right?
Yeah,
In the
on the eval, you could do ES, NQ, anything that's a mini.
Okay, perfect. I was doing only micros, but it was slow. I'm really slow.
Yeah. See,
But I
and
was
that's the
doing
thing. You trade micros on your new PAs. It's
okay.
okay to move slow on the PA because you're no longer because when you pay for your PA, you did pay for lifetime, correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
125.
guys, pay close attention to that. When you pay for your PA, make sure you choose lifetime because they will charge you 100 a month.
Tell them, man. That's what I did. Talk to him.
Yeah, I made that mistake before. So
Yes, I
as
had
long as you
made a
choose
mistake 5 times.
lifetime, you no longer paying monthly, so you can take your time. I know micros are slow. That's why you can do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 micros because 10 micros equal 1 mini. So that's why I have an ATM strategy of 8 micros because 8 micros are only $4 per tick. So you're still doing less than 1 mini.
So once you pass an eval, you now have to pay for a PA.
Yeah, once you pass the eval, you just pay one time. It's like right now, I think it's
Okay.
like 110. It changes, the price changes. But once you
Okay.
activate it,
Okay.
you no longer have to pay monthly anymore.
Oh, okay.
Just make sure you pick lifetime. Because if you don't pick lifetime, they will charge you 100 a month for that PA.
So what
Yes, they
happens
do.
when you pass the eval? Does it automatically take you to where you buy that, you fill that out? Is that automatic once you pass the eval?
Yes, once you pass the eval, that night they'll send you an email after the market
Oh, okay.
close because you can miss once you pass, you can trade and lose that money. So after the market closed, and they're like, "All right, he didn't trade anymore," because I've done that too. I passed and traded and lost. But once you
Oh,
pass it, that night they will send you an email saying congratulations. They'll walk you through the steps, and if you're nervous, we could do a Zoom. Let me know. I'll do a Zoom with you to make sure you click the right thing. But they'll send you an email saying, congratulations, click the lifetime price, which is like 110, whatever. And you pay that is one time. That's it. Now, they will also send you another email where you get the opportunity to record a short video saying, thank you, I passed my eval. That's it. And they will put you into a drawing to win $3,000.
oh, okay.
And you could do that every time you pass.
Okay,
I don't
I,
I
care if
got
I
you
did
some.
pass
that.
10 of
I
them.
actually did it. I did the video and I actually made the post in Facebook. I put the
Yep.
certificate.
Yep. And they'll tell you got like 15 activations or entries into the contest.
Okay, I want to know when when you pass your evaluations, right? It's a time limit that it takes for you to get the pay for your PA account. How long
No,
is
it's
it?
not a time limit. You have to sign it. You have a time limit to sign it. But if you don't pay to activate it, they'll just charge you the $20, $30 a month until you pay the 110 to activate it.
Okay. I was told that you only had like 48 hours.
Before, yeah, they used to. Before, yeah. Trust me, because I got 5 approved in one day, and they was like, you got 48 hours, buddy.
No, and
Oh,
I'm like, oh
wow.
no, yeah.
Yeah. So I had to sell some, I sold some of my Amazon shares so I could go ahead and pay for that because I was like, bro, that's over $500.
I know. So now we can wait
Yeah.
once you get.
Now they'll just charge you the $30 a month until you pay it.
Okay, Mr. H, I have a question.
Mhm.
I have a question regarding the ATR. of trading. I
Mhm.
understand that the market moves a certain number of ticks or points each day.
Mhm.
My question is, how do you determine which market to focus on each day? Because I know certain people like they trade different assets and they try to find movements in within the markets.
Mhm.
And I want to focus on one asset at a time just so I can kind of get um that repetition of trading and understanding the volume in the mornings and then get in and out of the market, you
Yeah.
know.
Because all I trade is NQ. That's
So
it.
okay.
So really, when you're practicing, like you could load up ES, you could load up NQ, you could load up gold, oil. What I teach works on any chart. I mean, any company, anything that has a candlestick. My strategies work on. What you're testing out is really your patience, because ES moves a lot slower than NQ. ZB moves a little bit slower than NQ, but still faster than ES. Then you got the Russell, which is the Russell, I think it was Russell 5000 or whatever. You have the Rust that moves faster than NQ sometime. So you're really just looking at the speed and what fits your speed better.
Okay. Thank you.
But yeah, but you can what I teach works on all of them. You just have to more so figure out the speed that's better for the way you trade. Because I can't trade ES. I'll fall asleep staring at ES move. That's how slow it is to me.
How do you determine the ATR per day?
Um, I normally just Google the ATR, but that's still just an estimate of how much it moves per day. Because if you look at the past 2 days of the market, it moved way past that average. It dropped down so much the last 2 3 days of the week is ridiculous.
Let's see.
So
I got
that's
it.
really just an average. And I normally Google what the average is so I can see.
Okay,
Okay.
I have a question. Okay, it's not. I did it wrong, but my all my valuations are at $900 in one day. I did. I was on your thing, and I saw it was going down so much. I pushed nine. I pushed none, and I just when it got down, I got out. Then it got down again. I said, "Oh, it's still going down." I'm gonna stay in it, and I made $900 in one day.
So
If
you
I
had
was
no
on
ATM strategy?
none of that, I just started going down. I apologize. I know it was stupid. Okay, I want to ask you a question though. What happened if I would have did it in a PA account?
Nothing.
I thought you're not allowed to have swings like that. You're not allowed to. You got to be consistent in a PA account, or they won't pay you. Is that
No,
incorrect?
no, you can make the money. It's just if you make more than 30% of what your withdrawal is, they just won't let you get a withdrawal. You have to trade 8 more days. But they
Oh,
won't take
okay.
the money is still there. It's still your money. You'll just
Uh-huh.
have to trade another 8 days before you could take it out.
Oh yeah, because what is that called when you go in there? Okay, it's going up, and I ain't called cardboard or sniping or sniping. What is that called?
Yeah, yeah, that's called not swing trading. Um not sniping. Well, I mean you could call it sniping.
Mm-hmm.
Um it's basically I'm trying to think of the name because I don't do
Scalping.
scalping. Yeah,
Scalping.
scalping. That's what scalping is. That's when people are like, yeah, I'm a scalper. I'm like, you don't really know how to trade.
You don't. I mean, I was luck. I mean, it was common sense. You saw them kind of
But
that
no,
market going
it's
down. I was
times
like,
where scalping is just a good thing to do. Trust me, that's
mhm.
how I get a lot of PAs approved or
Yeah,
evals approved. I,
yeah.
I call it I call it Drew Brees. You know what I'm saying? I throw a Hail Mary.
Okay, man. I
Because
was
when the
going
market
in.
is dropping, sometimes you gotta be like, man, forget that level. Let me go ahead and get this money real quick.
I know, and then you hit because at first time I hit, I got 50, 50. I'm saying this thing is $50. I can go on. Let me get out of here right quick and just hold on to it and let it go down. I'm gonna get this money, man. I made $900 on six accounts.
Yeah, I mean,
Man,
it
that's
happens.
awesome.
The thing is, you just don't want to get into the habit of
Yeah,
doing that because you don't necessarily want to do that on an eval on a PA account because the goal is to be consistent.
yeah.
If you get used to just clicking that button and because it's falling, you'll start picking up bad habits and you're gonna get smacked in the head one day.
I agree with you 100%. It was
But
I
but on
just
evals, I definitely abuse my evals because that's what it's for, is evaluation. It's just to eval how good you are. And once you get it approved, then you take your time.
okay.
Um,
What? Got on. One more question. It was like nighttime. I had nothing. I put out and I looked at a EQ, and people still trade. I thought it cuts off at a certain time. EQ don't cut off,
It closes at 5, but it opens right back up at 6.
and that's all day.
6 p.m. Yeah, because you got to realize London, you got the London market and you got Japan.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They trade too.
Yeah, and I noticed the power hour for each session
Yeah,
make big
like so
moves.
if like I know a lot of people that work during the day, they can't trade the New York Open, but I think it's Japan opens up around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
Hmm.
around 8, 9 o'clock. So you could trade the Open of Japan if you work in the morning, but you're available at night. You could trade around 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night, which is the Open around 8, 9 o'clock. The London market opens up around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So if you're up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you'll notice that it moves pretty good.
Yeah, the power hour.
Yeah.
I know it makes a lot of moves in that last hour of each market. By the last hour of each
Yeah, the
market.
last yeah, now it moves the last hour, and it's the
Yeah.
same thing with other countries like England. Their last hour is 11 to 12 o'clock our time. That's
Okay.
why around 11, 12 o'clock I don't trade because I'm not used to trading their power hour. That's 11, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is London's power hour.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Mr. H, in addition to Terry's question, so let's just say how I pass my evaluation account and then I jump into a PA account. And just to kind of stay under that 30% consistency rule, is it okay, just so I won't make this mistake, is it okay to, let's say I finally opened up my PA account and then I just made $3,000, but then I'll be way above that buffer threshold number, right? And then I can just start being consistent with the average of like $250 a day until the next payout.
Yeah. Like so
Would
when
that be disqualifying of my PA account because I made 3,000 and I went back to like the 50 or 100 and I've been consistent with that number?
Yeah, all the 30% rule does is make sure people don't throw Hail Marys in their PAs, make a bunch of money, cash out and dip and disappear. That's the reason
Okay.
why they have that 30% consistency rule, because you got to realize these companies have to pay you. The money is not unlimited. So these companies have to make sure they have the money to pay the traders. That's why if y'all remember uh Fast Track, the company Fast Track,
Yeah.
that were just giving everybody PA accounts without an eval. The reason why they lost was because people were literally paying for a PA up front and just throwing Hail Marys. They were doing $300,000 cash outs in a week. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't have the rules in place. So that's why Fast Track disappeared. They went bankrupt. They couldn't pay everybody. So they have that 30% consistency so people don't go trade crazy and be like, give me $20,000. You know what I'm saying? So they want to be able to pay everybody. But they're not going to stop you from doing it. If you make a bunch of money, they'll just tell you you can't get a payout until you trade 8 more days. If you break another rule, well, you can't get a payout till 8 more days. So you can technically trade, make 3,000 so you can reach to a payout and just coast, because I only do a payout once a month. So if I break the 30% rule, they're not going to tell me no to a payout because by the time I ask for a payout, I didn't trade it a whole month anyway. But you don't want to stop yourself from making money because you're scared of a 30% rule. You know what I'm saying? Like if you in a trade and you're up 2,000 and it's still making good money, look, get the money. Go ahead and get the money. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, oh,
What
it's a
is
30%. Let me stop it. No, no, get that money. You just got to
30
realize
30% of
they might not give that money for another 2 months.
Yeah.
30% of what, Will? What is 30% of how's that work?
So it
30% of
depends on the
what?
size account you have. So if you have a 25K account, it's like 30% of what the max withdrawal on a 25K is 1,500. So you don't want 35% of 1,500 in one trade.
Oh, okay.
Because the max drawdown, the max withdrawal you could do with a 25K account is up to 1,500. for at least your first 3 withdrawal. Once you have taken out 3 withdrawal, you ain't got to worry about that no more because you could take out. No, there's no limit to how much you could take out.
Oh, okay.
So that
Gotcha.
30% is only your first 3 withdrawal.
Good. All right.
But you don't recommend taking all of it out anyway because you like a
Yeah,
buffer.
yeah.
So
I
you
don't recommend
what?
taking all that money out at one
So
time.
you normally take out half, or you just do $500? What I mean, just suggest it. I would if I whenever I make that opportunity to get my withdrawal, I would take out half because I got 6 accounts of each one of them. you know,
And throw that in there. I got 6 of them.
I ain't want to say. I want to say.
Hey, love
So
it.
you were
Mr.
saying,
Ace, do you trade news?
Hold on one second. Hold on one second, Sebastian.
Oh
Go
yeah,
ahead,
my
finish
bad.
up, Terry.
huh?
What
So
was it?
what I was saying. So I would just do half and then leave the rest in there each month until it build up. I'm not trying to get that car like you, but I would that way I have a buffer so when the times get hard, I have extra money where I won't blow my account.
Yes. So that's the purpose of the buffer is when you're trading, you want if you make 1,000 that month, take out 500, pay yourself, nothing wrong with that. But leave that other 500 in there because what if you have a bad week? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to make 2,000 and take out all 2,000 because now you're right at the level where you can lose that account if you have a bad trade. So you always want to build a nice little cushion. I recommend don't take nothing out till you have at least 3,000 in there. And even then, take out half after that because that $3,000 buffer is, I mean, if you lose $3,000, you just was trading crazy anyway, But yeah, take out half, but you always want to pay yourself something.
Terry, you got 6 PAs or 6 evals you're working on.
I was sick of evaluations. I don't have PAs
Oh,
yet.
gotcha.
I'm working on them.
Yeah.
I'm
I
working on
thought,
them.
I
didn't you have
think
6 at one time?
And I blew every one of them. Yeah, I blew them in that bow box situation. So I started all over
At a
with you.
bowl bot situation.
Yeah, I mean, I learned
Oh,
my lesson. So I started with you. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was, I know you had 6 at one point.
Yeah, I did. I did. I
boba.
had a total of 12 total. I had total of 12, but I had 6 evaluations and a bunch of PAs.
Okay.
So I'm starting all over.
Wow.
And that's why I started showing you guys Bulanox because I learned with Bulanox they have a 40% consistency rule, and once you pass a Bulanox account, you as long as you sign it, you don't have they won't charge you monthly. They won't charge you monthly. You can take your time buying it.
And the reason I got rid of them, can y'all imagine? I think 6 of them, and I didn't push lifetime. Every
Yeah, so
month they
you
were
were you were
charging
paying 100 a month
100
each.
for each account.
Mm,
Oh,
That's why I
ouch.
mm,
got rid of them, and that's another
mm,
reason I
mm,
started
mm.
over. That's why I started over. So
Yeah, that's
I
why I
was saying,
always remind people get the lifetime.
get the lifetime. Listen to them. Get the lifetime.
You can't switch it back?
Nope.
Nope.
Apex do not like any trades because I tried to get off of Rhythmic and go to TraderBait.
Mm,
Once you sign with them, that's what you get. You're not changing
mm,
anything. Not.
wow.
And I learned that. I want to get out of that contract. They wouldn't let me get out of Lifetime. I wanted to get out of Rhythmic. They wouldn't let me get out of Rhythmic. I said, okay, from now on, know what you're signing.
Yeah, you
Look,
learn, you
laugh
learn.
at me now. I'm giving y'all all the mistakes I made. So y'all have to make them.
And once again, that's why it's good to have uh an instructor that
Mm,
been there, that done that already. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't need an instructor. I'm like, yeah, that's why you haven't had a payout yet. Because learn little small things like that. Make sure you do the lifetime. Like it'll cost you money that you don't necessarily have to go through. Because I
Yeah.
did that. I did the same thing. My first 3 accounts, I was like, oh, let me pay for that account. I was like, they charged me 300 the next month. I was like, what is this $300? I was like, look, take them back. I blew those on purpose.
I blew them on purpose too.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm not paying 300 a month.
Shoot, that's a lot,
Hey,
man.
Will.
Yeah.
So when it comes to trading on the PAs, right? It's not a $1,500 drawdown no more, is it? It's how does
No,
that work?
once you get it to pay out, the withdrawal goes back down. So if you have a $25,000 trade account, once you make $1,600, now the drawdown will follow you until you make 1,600. Then it goes back down to 25,100.
Okay,
So
and it's
as
and
long as you don't lose all the way back down to 25,099, you good to go.
So that's the same with the 50,000 too, right?
Yep, 50,100.
So I got to get to 2,600 and then take a payout, and then it goes. It's 50,001.
Yeah, so that's why I say don't make 2,600 and then take out 2,600 because now you back down to 50K. You didn't
But they're
blew
not
that
gonna let
account.
you take out. They're not gonna let you take out 2,600.
Yeah,
The
they're not gonna
maximum.
let you, but I'm saying like don't take out all the money you made. Like
Yeah,
just take out half of it.
yeah. I'm going for three. I'm going for 3,000, and then, like you said, go for half.
Yeah, you make 3,000, take out 1,000, take out 15. You know what I'm saying? That way you still got a $1,500 cushion on top
Yeah.
of the 50,100.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty
And
good.
Sebastian, you had a question
Yeah. Do you trade news or
on a
not?
on a on a eval sometime. On a PA, no. Apex will not let you do it.
Okay.
Yeah, Apex will send you a nice little warning.
Cause yesterday, no, not yesterday. I think, the day. How do I say the day before Friday? What's the day? How can I call
Thursday.
it? And Thursday there was a news. I think it was a PCI. I
The
think
PMI?
a PMI. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there was a candle that went all the way down, and I'm like, shit. How much money was that news?
I mean, you can trade news with your evaluation. Just know it's news. News is nothing but a manipulated market. You don't
Okay.
necessarily want to get used to trading the manipulation because if you're not part of the in crowd, you're nine times out of 10 you don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't know the rule, like, hey, the market's gonna go down. Okay, at 9:30 you could sell because you got the inside. It's called
Okay.
insider trading.
Yeah.
But if you're not someone that gets that good information, don't do it. Hold on one second, guys.
This. I'm not a round type of person, but I feel like I have to get this off my chest. See, realistically, going about the whole way, the bridge, people around it with the light.
Go
I
ahead.
don't.
Coach, can you pull back up that parameter you were just doing for the micros?
Which one? The parameters?
You were creating one, 100 ticks or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right. So you go to ATM strategy. Hold on, let me start from the beginning. You hit the drop down, go to custom,
Mm-hmm.
and right here, I have it on ticks because I like to count ticks. So
Right.
stop loss, if you put it on 100, that is on 100 ticks. One contract is only $50. It's a $50 risk, $50 risk on micros. And profits you put at 40 because Sebastian said on average he makes $200 per trade on NQ.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
on M and Q, you still want to keep that 40 ticks, even though it's not as much money. The goal is you want to be consistent with 40 ticks.
But you can use this on any chart, but you just specifically when you're under micros.
Yeah, when
And
you don't want to do negative 100 ticks on NQ.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I just need to save this as micros. Okay.
Yeah, the good thing with micros is if you're doing one or two micros, it allows you to sit into the trade a little bit longer to really see how far down or how much against you a trade goes. You know what I'm saying? So, and literally write down, I took a trade in micros, it went against me 45 ticks before it turned around and made me money. So now you know your average entry, you're risking 45 ticks on every entry because that's what your average. But in micros, 45, if it goes down negative 45, that's really not a lot of money. You're talking maybe 20 something dollars. You know what I'm
Now
saying?
would
But
you
in Q, it goes down negative 45.
yeah,
That's
that's
over
it.
$200.
Yeah, but if you put it normally if you put it like you're putting it at these levels, say you do your three hit for your demand here, um it normally doesn't go down 40 ticks, does it, before it comes back up? I don't know. I'm just
It's just based on your entry. Sometimes if you get
okay.
if
Okay.
you get an entry at the wrong time, it will go against you a lot. So that like when you see people online say, "Oh, I made 3,000 in one trade," a lot of those people they probably took $600-700 negative before it turned around and made
Mm-hmm.
That's
2,000.
right.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
have to keep that in mind as well.
Okay. And so is that based on your 3 hit? Is that based on it used to be called something else when I was following this other guy. I have to think of
Talking
it.
about this triple threat.
I was trading off
We
where
say
it
three
went
hit, you
to.
mean my triple threat strategy, or
No.
when the
Like you're
market,
saying,
when the candlestick taps at that level?
yeah, you're doing that when the candlestick first directional is what I used to trade, where
Mhm.
when you come into the market, whatever the first direction, and then you do the opposite. But I
Well,
wasn't
first
really
direction as far as when
waiting
the
for
candle first opens.
no, for where first direction was like, okay, so if it's coming down, you're waiting until it gets to a certain level and then you're selling, or if it's going up, I mean, if it's going up, you sell, if it's going down, you buy. So
He talking about markets.
whatever that first direction went, you just had a level, like you have yours marked. If it hit it, I'm automatically in. I'm not waiting for the 3 shot because I know
Yeah,
it's going to go down. It's going to go in the opposite direction.
yeah,
I just have to wait it out, right? And
yeah.
so I wasn't waiting for the hit 3. I was just marking it because
Yeah, you put
you
a
know
resting
you
order.
right there, as opposed to and I just wait. So if it came out and hit it again, I just take that little loss because I'm betting that it's going to go in the opposite direction.
Now, yeah, yeah. So,
Okay.
so my three tap strategy is more advanced strategy because
Mm-hmm.
I don't normally use a resting order. I use these buttons up top: buy market and sell market. So I'm
Right.
like quick draw McGraw. I'm staring at my level, and as soon as it gets to my
Mm-hmm.
level, it taps. I'm pulling the trigger.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But a more safe way is having a resting order because you want to get in at that point right at the bus stop. A
Right.
lot of times since I click the button, I might not get in right at that line. It might be a little bit above it or a little bit below it based on how fast I click the button.
So can you put a resting order on here, or do I just
Yeah, you just right click and go
right click?
buy
Okay.
limit, and that's the
And
resting
so
order.
I'm in, even though I would get it on this first one, well, the first hit,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
I would
yeah.
just
You'll get
wait.
it on the first touch. It'll put you in the trade.
Right.
I
Okay.
like for three touches because
Okay.
once again, I'm trying to get more than 50 to 100 bucks. The
Right.
resting order is when you put an ATM strategy of 50 to $100. I mean, it's gonna get you in the trade and get you right out as soon as it gets your money.
Okay.
But because my ATM strategy doesn't have a target, I like it for it to tap the level 3 times because it'll tap the level 50, 60 bucks, tap the level 50, 60, 100, tap the level again, then I get in. Because I know if it couldn't go through it in 3 taps, it's gonna make more than $100.
So for that one where you don't have the
Target.
target, you just get rid of the what on this parameter.
Oh, to do it with no target, I'll show you. It looks like this. You have a stop loss, but profit,
Okay.
keep it at 0.
Okay. Okay.
And when you take a trade, as long as it's going up, it'll
Mm-hmm.
just keep going up. And the red flag or the stop loss, you can move the stop loss up manually.
Okay. So it
Or
just
you can have
moves
an
it.
ATM strategy that where it moves up by itself.
What does it have stop? Go back there.
Right here. So profit trigger is 25 plus 10, and I have it just move up. It just moves up with it. But if
Okay.
you
And
wanted
then
to follow, I'll show you one that follows. Because I have a couple ATM strategies. I don't be playing. I have strategies for different types of days in the market. All right, so this one right here, the auto break even, I have it at 15. What that means is if I buy the market, once the market goes 15 ticks into profit, the red stop loss flag will go from -40 to +1. So I'm locking in $5. And as soon as I get 15 ticks into profit, which is $75, I'm locking in $5. That way, if it comes back down, I at least cover the commission fee.
mm-hmm.
I didn't make
Mm-hmm.
any money. I didn't lose any money, and
Mm.
commission was covered, right?
Right.
But if it continues from 15 and it goes 25 ticks from 15 to 25, I have 10 right here, stop loss. I haven't moved 10 ticks into profit. So now, no matter what happens, I didn't lock in my $50. If the market goes at least 25 ticks into profit, which was that 120 bucks,
Mm-hmm.
I locked in $50. And every tick higher, it automatically moves up one tick every time the market moves. But if the market comes back down, it'll just knock me out at 50 or more.
Mm-hmm.
But if it doesn't come back down far enough, I'm just gonna keep. All you're gonna hear is cha-ching. It literally has a cha-ching noise.
Well,
It goes ka-ching, 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 and it just keep going up and follow it until the market comes back down far enough and knocks me out.
Okay, wait a minute. So go back to get rid of the screen and let me see.
Right.
So wait. So you have 40.
So I'm risking $200.
Okay. You
And
know
profit is
profit.
0.
And then what did you click on to go to that screen?
Right here, stop strategy. See, I got
Did
a
you
bunch of
say,
them, but
oh, did I just say custom? Okay.
yeah, just go to custom.
And then what
Yep.
did you have? I'm sorry. 15. Okay.
You can run this when you go to practice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Find a nice long candle and then
Okay.
type in what time that happened, rewind it, and then take a sell or a buy. And because you want to test out and see how fast it moves, and you can adjust the speed of how fast it moves up or down. And you can just
Okay.
adjust these numbers to what fits you.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, because sometimes it's some trades where I take and that stop loss, it just moves too fast and it knocks me out at like $200. If I would have just slowed it down, I could have got way more money, but it jumped up so fast and the market came back down, knocked me out. So that's why I have so many of these different stop strategies because some of them be just too fast.
Okay, and one more question, cosmetic. How do you keep your charts on the screen so I don't have to reload them every time?
Oh, yes. You go to control center.
Wait a minute. Let me see what you're doing.
Right, go to control center and go to workspaces.
How did you get to, wait a minute. How did you get to control center again?
When you hover over the red N, it'll
Oh,
say control center.
okay. Uh-huh. And workspaces. Uh-huh.
Workspace, and you just go to save as, and type in the name. So when you're done for the day, don't close your chart first. Close the control center because it asks you, do you want to save? You hit yes. If you close your chart first and then close your control center, it asks you to save, and you're saving nothing because you closed it already. So
So
don't close your chart, close the control center,
I
and your
click
chart
on
will close
new
with
to
you.
have it as new, or I thought I had it as manual.
Yeah, yeah. If it says new, just click save as, and it will save as something and
Okay.
type the name in.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. And just remember, when you want to close out the control center, not the chart.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question for you. You
Hmm?
know, when you're trading a lot, you know how you told us yesterday practice when last time we was on the phone. I don't, and you said just keep practicing, practicing, practicing. All those trades, all those marks on the screen, you can't really get. Is there any way you can move them off the screen? Your prior trades.
Oh yeah, yeah. You go. I want to say it's under data series. Right click, go to data series, and right at the bottom, do not plot. So right click
Okay.
on there on your chart, go to data series, and all the way at the bottom it says do not plot.
Okay. And that's gonna remove them, or that's
Yep,
gonna
that's remove all the words and numbers.
okay.
Okay, Coach, how do you open it back up? Wait a minute.
What?
How
you
do you
can
open the
also get
charts
rid of
back
all
up?
those extra.
Oh, hold on, ladies first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Go
How do
ahead.
you get it to open back up once you save it?
Open the chart.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
So say if you close the
you should be
yeah.
able to just click on this one.
Okay.
Like if
Okay.
I click on this one, there's a different one pop up, and this one pop up.
Yeah, mine's not popping up. Okay, good grief. All right. I'll figure it out. Thanks.
All right, go ahead. Who's that? Steve? Go ahead.
Yeah, that from that same screen, Terry, you can also get rid of all those extra lines on the new chart too.
Oh,
You can do
You know,
what?
when you click on when you click on the candle, and it
Oh,
brings
data
up
series.
the, yep, and you can uh, click on a can. Yeah, there you go. Scroll to the bottom, and you can hit do not plot, but you can also hit that trading hours break line
Yeah.
and get rid of those.
Yeah. Turn that off. Like where it says visible. Yeah, because it puts a
Yep.
bunch of white, big old bright white lines on your chart.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. Now, so there, I'm gonna use one of my ATM strategies just so y'all can see what it looks like. Now, as I said, I don't have a target on mine. I usually move my stop loss up. What is it? This is the 9:30 open now. You speed it up a little bit. And like this the overnight low, and it's also a swing low. So that swing, even though it's a 5 minute swing low, that little yellow dots, is still right on top of the overnight low. So that's why I would trust that level because it's called a confirmation. See, and that three taps, you see how it tapped, it didn't tap my level, but it was close enough to my level. I would have jumped in on the trade right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been trading long enough to see how it moves. But as a new trader, I would wait until got to my green line. See but that's why when I place my results, I'm normally in and out the market by 10, 10, 15. Because when I see my trades, I take them, get my money, and go. See how it's moving up with it? And it knocked me out. It moved up that fast with it. So in that trade, I made 105 instead of 50 because I didn't have a target. I just had my stop loss move by itself. So my stop loss automatically moved up once the market started moving into profit. So instead of putting a $50 target on there, I just didn't put a target at all and let the stop loss move up where I locked in 105 instead of $50. And that was my ATM strategy. And once again, my ATM strategy still, to me, moved a little too fast because I could have made more than 105. But we're not focused on what we could have made. I made 105. Cool. If you could make $100 a day, that's 2,000 a month per account. You know, before you start making the big money, you got to get consistent first. And if all you could do is 50 to 60 bucks every day, cool. Get your 50 or 60 and get on out the market. Or switch to an evaluation and play around with the evaluation. Because that's what it's for, is to evaluate how good of a trader you are. But your PA, baby that PA. At least until you get a cushion in there. See, look, it's still bouncing off that level. You could have took several trades off that level. It don't have to be one time, one shot. A level is good, but remember, every time the market touches that level, it gets weaker and weaker. But that don't mean it's not going to work more than once. You could have took that trade several times in this one candle. You know, but I always tell you, if you see a trade, take it because you don't know what's going to happen until you click the button. Don't be scared. You know what I'm saying? Just practice. The more you practice, you'll see how the market moves around your levels. Look, way more than $100. Still going up. That overnight low and overnight. Now, it has been times where the market went straight through the overnight low. And that's why I say you got to look and see what the market does. If it goes to it and it plays around that area, you're like, all right, it's not going to go straight through it. But sometimes when the market's going down, it's like a falling knife. Don't you try to catch that. But a day like today, it wasn't really any big movements. So I feel safe taking that trade. And always pay attention to the news. Write down the news on a piece of paper if you have to. And now, and retracement. Okay, so retracement. Retracement is basically just like this stop sign right here. I mean, this level right here, the overnight low. If this market would have went below that green line and it closed, meaning this red candle, it would have been below the line closed. I would have looked for a sell instead of trying to buy at the green line. I would have looked to sell at that green line because once the market closes below a level, that level is no longer support, is now resistance. So I will look for a sell when the market came back to it. That's what it's called, a retracement. It went below it, it closed, and when it come back to that level, is now a retracement. I'm looking to sell instead of buy. We can fast forward to see what today did. 'Cause I don't remember what happened on the 19th at all. After a
Mr.
while,
H,
the days kind of blend together.
Mr. H, do you have access to a drawing tool?
Yes.
Okay, so could you draw on there what you was talking about just a second ago as far as retracement
Oh yeah, the
and
retracement. Yeah.
yeah, and how the support the resistance turns into support and vice versa.
Yeah. I'm gonna fast forward to see if it happens during this time, and then I can mark it off easier. I'm gonna speed it up to see what happens. Look, it's still bouncing off that level. I'm waiting for it to close below it. See, look, it still ain't closed below it. You could have took several trades off that.
Yeah, man, you could have made a bunch of money off that or
Yeah,
that green.
that one little level. All right, there we
Wow.
go. We're waiting for it to close below it. There we go. So now it closed below it, right? That's called a closure below. It finally went through it and it closed below it. Because remember, red candle opens up here, closes down here. It closed. Now the green one opened, and the top of the green is the closure. Let's see what happens. Boom. There's a sale. There was a $50 sale. You could have made $50 right there. Because once it broke below that green line, it closed. Now that green line is no longer support. It's not supporting the market going up. Is now pushing it. It's supporting, is resisting now. So now that support turns into resistance. Now it's pushing it down. Not saying it can't break back through it, but as you see, you could have made 50 to 100 right there. Because once it closed below it, is now resistance. And now look, it broke past it. Let's see if it closes.
So that green line, it stays relevant all through the day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not really an irrelevant level until the next day.
Okay, but the dotted lines, once they're crossed, they become invalid.
These, yeah, the swing highs and swing lows. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Do they have to be closed below or just wicked below the swing highs and swing lows?
What was the question again?
So, what makes the swing highs or swing lows invalid? Is it just a wick, or does it have to close below or
Close,
above?
usually close.
Okay.
Yeah, once they close, there's really no retracement for a swing high and swing low. The levels like the overnight high, overnight low, triple threat, um, even gaps, even the gap setups, you can retrace to that level. But the swing high and swing lows, they normally either bounce off of it, either bounce up or bounce down. They don't really turn from support to resistance. The only reason why this was a strong level was because not only was it a swing low, but it was also a overnight low. And just like right here, as you see, the market closed back above the green line, and look what happened. It took a little bit of heat, but look, you still could have made another 50 on buying the green line, because once it closed above it, that support is now once again was the support, the resistance is now once again support. And when the market tried to go past it, took a little bit of heat, but it went back up. So you could have made 50 to 100 again. You can make a lot of money off of one level.
So as it stands right now, well, the candle just went through it. Oh,
Yeah. So you always wait for the closure of it.
right,
Nothing is set in stone until it closes.
right. Because I was going to ask if it closes above it, the green line, then you could take a buy trade.
Yeah, it's still strong. Yep, still a strong trade.
Okay.
And that's why this timer is so important, because you got a couple more minutes before it closes to see what side is on. And boom, there it goes. It closed below it again. Let's see what it does when it touches it. There's your $50. There's your $50. That's
And
why you see people make so much money in a short amount of time, because support turns resistance turns support, and it just keep flip flopping back and forth. You could have took 5, 6, 7 trades right then and there. You know what I'm saying? 100. I'm done for the day. It is 10:01. That's why I post my results. 10:01, you'll see 1,000 here, 800 here, 500 there, 250, $25. Because I'll sit there and take trades right then and there. Bop, 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 done. I only trade 30, 40
Where,
minutes a day.
where you normally post those at, Will?
My results.
This Discord?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just started recently posting them in the Discord. And then I post them I trade with a group every morning. I post them in there as well.
Oh, okay.
Once again, once you guys get comfortable and you get your evals approved, when you want to start trading live with everybody else, you guys, it is 300 a month because it's not my group. I'm just in there and I call out trades, but you learn much more because there's always a higher level.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the group that I trade with in the morning. But yeah, I'll start posting them in the Discord more often. But yeah, this is a prime example of why I make that much money within the first 30, 40 minutes of the market, because I use those areas of support and resistance.
Where do you plan on putting that at on the Discord? Under what? What area?
Hold on one second, buddy. Oh, not you. I was talking to my son. I will put that under where's it at? Community trade day results.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hold on one second. Okay, I'll check it out for you. But yeah, that's what, like, these right here these were evals, right? These four were my evals. And then these right here were my PAs. And you'll see, look, I don't be lying to y'all, $33, 37. These are all micros. These are recent PAs. These are like 25, 50K accounts that I got approved. And I do the same thing on those, $45, $50. I try to average 50 to 100 a day, average. Some days might be lower, some days might be higher. My bigger accounts that got more cushion, I'll do 900, 400, 200. And I have 16 of them, so I don't trade them all every day. But I practice what I preach. When I tell you I'll try to get 50 to 100 a day, I do the same thing. And I've been trading 4 or 5 years.
Do you depend on that trade the copier a lot? Do you use that a lot?
Not really. I use well, like you see there here, these were copiers. I'll use the copier
Right.
on micros, mostly, you know what I'm saying, when I get new accounts. Like if I have 5 brand new accounts, I'm not trading those separate. I'm gonna put one of the accounts and I'm gonna copy that one new account and duplicate it on all my new accounts. Because I'm only trading
Okay.
micros when I first get them anyway.
Are any of those wins right there on that day bot wins from the bot?
I only use the bot on my evals, so probably about half of that. So like the bot did about 500-600 on this one, and did 400 on the well 300-400 on the rest of them, and then I manually traded and got more.
Okay.
I only run the bot the first 5 minutes of the market. I'll run well normally the first 5 minute candle. I'll run the bot. So within the first 5 minutes, I'm in and out the market with the bot on like every eval.
Huh.
Yeah, so I'll put eval number one. I'll click the bot. I'll do 300-400 bucks. Eval number two. I'll click the bot. Do $300-400, and I'll just go down the list.
Huh. Is it pretty consistent?
Yes, it is because there's certain settings. So I gotta get out here. Under here, I have there's ATM bot resources. If you go to bot resources, I have my settings right here,
Oh,
and
okay.
this was me testing them out. 400, 400, 400, 500. And I have my settings right there, what I had programmed.
What is that bot average, Will? 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10? What?
Yeah, these settings are 9 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I ran them on live one night, and I literally took 10 trades with the same setup. I just took 10 trades, 9 out of 10. I loaded another day, 10 trades was 9 out of 10. I did like 3 days in a row, and I think one day it did like 7 out of 10.
Wow. Huh.
So I put those settings in the bot Discord, the actual bot Discord, and most of the people in there are running my settings. And I literally have a message from the guy that created the bot. He wants me to test out some ATM strategies. Not some indicators that he built. Because the guy that
Oh,
created the bot, he actually was a floor trader. He has a trade card and everything for the stock exchange. He's now on the development side. So, I was like, I have some students, we could test out whatever you need us to test out. They try to get us some free indicators, you know what I'm saying?
hell yeah.
Okay, I'll change the color for
Yeah,
you, buddy. So
I
yeah,
like to
just,
check
I'm
into
trying to get
that.
some freebies for us.
Mr.
Yeah.
A, speaking of the bot, I think there's a new version of the bot.
Yeah, is a one. I think it's like a 2.0 version. That he'll give you, depending on which one you have, he'll give you a new one.
Do I have problems setting that up. I was gonna ask you, because he said we have to delete it to renew the new version.
Oh yeah. So
I don't know how to.
when you go to control, you go to tools, and where you go to import, you want to go to no, remove right here. Remove Ninja Script Assembly. As soon as you click on that, you give it a minute, it'll pop up. Right here, you'll what it says Grid Master. 102 is the older version. And I think 200 is the new one. You just click on it and click remove. And then you just download the new one. But if you need a Zoom, we could do a Zoom later on if you need help loading it up.
I'll try it out today.
But yeah, I am going to test out some new indicators with him. And if they work good and I like them, I'm gonna see if he could either give it to us for free or discounted rate. You know, I'm always working the deal now.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
Mr. H, where's these recordings going to be located?
If you go, it says Saturday practice under community.
Okay. Okay.
Yep, got them all in here.
Mr. H, talk to Apex, lower these lifetime PAs. Okay.
They need to. I
They
like them. I
really
like when
do.
they were $85.
Thank you. I can pass the eval. Anyway, can you go over a Bullinox before you end?
Oh yes, yes, Bulinox. Where's Bulinox at? All right, so this is Bulinox, the help center. The reason why I like the main reason why I like Bulinox, is because once you pass the accounts, they do charge a little bit more. I think there's like 140 to activate it, but they don't charge you once you pass, they don't charge you monthly. You can literally just sign it and just sit it to the side until you get the 145. Apex, they charge you $30 a month or whatever the monthly is until you pay the activation fee.
Hmm.
All right, their withdrawal rules. Now, the difference is Bulinox, you only get to take the first 10,000 before they start charging you 10% split in your profit. Apex lets you take out 25,000 before they want their 10%. All right, so a 25K account, the minimum withdrawal of 1 to 3 payments is 1,000. So you only can take out 1,000 your first 3 withdrawal, and then they get rid of that. So the rules, and they have a 40%, and now they explain. All right, the 40% consistency rule states that upon submitting a withdrawal request, the balance in the master account must not consist of more than 40% of the total profit balance from a single trading day. Whew. Example, the trader made 20,000 total profit on an account, and the request make a withdrawal. In this case, the best single profit day should be at most 40%, which is $8,000. So if you want to take out 20,000, you couldn't make it more than 8,000 in one day, right?
Okay.
So because 8,000 is 40% of 20,000. None of us in here should be making 20,000 withdrawal. But if you want to take out $1,000, you just can't do 40%. You couldn't have had $400 in one trade one day. That's what that means. So if you want to take out 1,000, you couldn't make more than 400 in one day.
How do you
But
get to the account?
to buy one,
Yeah, so I got the 250 eval. So how do you actually get to it? Like,
how to
because
program it in your NinjaTrader.
oh yeah,
Okay, you go to connections,
uh-huh,
configure,
uh-huh. Wait,
and do you
connection.
now do you have Apex accounts?
Yes,
And are your Apex accounts Rhythmic or Tradeovate?
trade of eight.
Okay, so you have to download Rhythmic Trader.
Okay,
So Rhythmic Trader Pro, go to Rhythmic Trader Pro,
thought I did that.
and you just download from here. It's a free download.
Okay, so once I get that, because I thought I got that, maybe I didn't download it right. Let me do Rhythmic Trader.
If you have it, it'll look like this. Well, mine will look like this. This is our Trader Pro. It'll look like
Okay,
this. Yeah,
yeah, I think I do. All
so
right,
you,
so
you just type
mhm,
in a username and password. Where instead of Apex, where it says system, you want to do rhythmic paper trading for
okay,
Bulinox, which is weird because they have Bulinox option right here, but you go to rhythmic paper trading.
hold on. Oh crap. Hold on.
And you do the same thing on top and bottom.
And that's the okay, so I'm putting in my Apex ID, not the one they gave me in Bullinox. So maybe that's why
No,
I was
no, you put
messing
in
up.
your Bulinox ID and password. Bulinox should
Okay.
have gave you one.
All right, that's what I thought I was doing. And you do it for just the top, because mine has
No,
it
you do a
like,
top and bottom for them.
okay, top and bottom. and then hit log in, and then what does yours look like? Because I thought I did that. Maybe wait, Apex. Wait.
You
Rhythmic paper trading.
change system to rhythmic paper trading.
Okay, leave it at Chicago.
Yeah, stay at Chicago. Yep.
Okay, and then it's the Bullinox login. Why is your okay? Let me go here. All right, and then it should open up, and I should see this. And if it's not working, then I just need to contact them.
Well, it's the weekend, so sometimes it
Oh,
don't
I
work on the
mean,
weekends.
but yeah, okay. So it's my Bullinox username, password, rhythmic. Leave it at Chicago. Put it in both top and bottom. Log
Mhm.
in, and then I should be able to open up and go
Yep.
from there.
Then when you go to NinjaTrader,
Mm-hmm.
go to connect configure.
Mm-hmm.
You double click on Rhythmic for NinjaTrader brokerage.
Okay.
Double click on that. It'll drop it down to the bottom, and you do the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. Username that you get from Bullinox, password from Bullinox, and system is Rhythmic Paper Trading also Chicago.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, obviously you're not gonna pick Europe and stuff, but Rhythmic Paper Trading from Chicago, and
Mm-hmm.
you could click on Connect on Startup, and change the
Okay.
connection name to Bullinox so you don't get them confused with anything else.
And it'll just list it. Okay. So you say okay, and then it'll just list it like my Apex.
Yeah, once you click OK under connection, it'll say Bullinox.
Oh, so I got to go back and forth.
No, because your Apex is Tradeovate.
Right.
Bullinox is Rhythmic. So there are
Okay.
two different
So
connections. You just have to connect to both. You'll connect to your Tradeovate or your Apex, and you'll
okay.
connect to your Bullinox also.
And okay, and then
You
they
can log
should
into both of
all
them at the same time.
they will all be listed like they
Yep.
are now.
Yep. You have a
Okay.
whole list of them.
Awesome. Okay. Awesome.
How many accounts are you allowed to have with Bullinox?
11.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so 20 with Apex, 11 with Bullinox,
For
31 accounts. That's the goal.
$15.
Yep. $15 a piece. And all you got to do is get 50 bucks a day. And
Ooh,
you'll clear 31,000 a month. That's why I want
15,000.
y'all to practice on getting that 50. Because once you get enough accounts, hey, $50 a day go a long way.
All right, I just gotta find my Bulldog stuff.
Yep.
Because I put in.
All right. So as before we head out, any other questions?
Man, I got one.
Hmm?
I want to put in a strategy and lock it in on all my charts. Could you run through that? I want to use SMA.
You mean the ATM strategies?
No, actually, I meant to say an indicator.
Oh, indicator. Okay, yeah. When whatever chart that you already have the indicators on, you right click, you go to template, and you save that template. So
Okay,
whatever
hold on.
chart you have the indicator on, you go to right click, go to template, and go to save template or save as. And you can put whatever name you want, or you can save it as default so that every chart you open has it.
Or save as default. Okay, I
And
got you.
then you go to whatever chart that doesn't have it, you right
Yeah.
click, the same thing, go to template, and then you go to load. You go to load and load default.
Okay.
And it will load it on every chart that you have it on, or that you want it on.
Okay. Well, if I'm give it a try, not, I'll be back next week.
Or you just hit me up, I'll show you again.
Okay.
Because like on my chart, I have a couple different setups. And I have a couple different setups based on when I trade. So I got set up for TikTok. I got set up for my normal trade. My normal trade day has a bunch of other lines on it. So it gets real detailed. Yeah. Any other questions,
What
guys?
is
Yeah, I have one.
what
When the
is that
next time?
in?
Oh,
Go
how
ahead.
about
I'm sorry.
you? Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, y'all. Sunday, when the market opens up again?
6 p.m. Eastern Standard.
6 p.m. All right.
What is that indicator you have right there, Will? The
Uh,
the maroon. The maroon
This one is
indicator.
called a intraday VWAP.
And what are you watching there?
This is all the lines that come with a VWAP.
Oh,
This one you have to pay for it. I think it's like I'll get you the website. It's like $100 just one time. Is the VWAP? It basically just finds levels for you. So all these little dotted lines that I highlighted, these are all levels that you could trade from. You see how I went up to this
okay.
level and then went down? This works better on if you have bigger accounts or bigger cushion,
Okay.
but it is very consistent. And this is stuff that you'll learn once you join the trade room with us that we trade Monday through Friday. You'll learn more about this stuff. Don Chain channel. They have an anchored VWAP that you'll learn how to use. It gets really detailed.
Huh.
So
All right,
like
buddy.
this
Well,
this
thanks
is
for
the
your
anchored
time
VWAP.
today.
This is what the anchored VWAP looks like right here. So yeah, I trade with all
Wow.
that.
Wow.
So it's levels. We'll all get there. But yeah, but right now, like what you're learning, you'll make plenty of money. I made money doing just fine the way y'all trade now. But if you're trying to get to, 10, 20, $30,000 a day, that's how you get there.
Damn.
Okay, quick question, because before you leave, Bullock. So if I'm in there, I click on charts, or do I even have to worry about it? I don't have to worry about it.
In Bullonox, like when you log in,
Yeah.
oh no, you just worry about the username and password part.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about any of this other crap. I'm done with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
you ain't gotta worry about the other stuff. That's just more data so you understand what accounts and everything.
Okay, and then connections. Go back to connections on Apex right quick. Configure. Okay. And
Bullonox right here.
hold on. What was the top one? The rhythmic. Okay, rhythmic. What are I selecting on the available right quick? I'm sorry.
Is it under available?
Yeah.
Oh, Rhythmic for NinjaTrader.
Rhythmic administrator. Okay. And then okay, Bullock.
Yeah, change the
Okay.
name right here. Connection name. Change the name of it to Bullonox.
How did you wait a minute?
Oh
So I
yeah, when you double click Rhythmic,
okay.
double click it and add it down there, and just change the name right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, change that to Bullonox so you know what it is, and then just type in the username and password,
Okay. Thank you.
and make sure you do Rhythmic Paper Trading Chicago.
Okay.
And if it doesn't log in today, it's because it's the weekend. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It depends.
I got you. Okay, thank you. It'll be on
No
a
problem.
record. I just want to make sure. I
Yeah, yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
it.
All this will be recorded as well.
Okay. I won't hold anybody else up. Thanks.
All right. So everybody else good?
Yes. I can
All
get the
right.
recording. I can get the recording.
It's gonna be in the Discord. I'm about to put
All
it in there
right.
as soon as it loads.
All right.
All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekends.
You too. Bye bye.
Thanks.
No problem.